So, will ambition beat out tradition?
And is there even such thing as a bad tiramisu?
Hi everyone and welcome back. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, click the little bell so you get notifications if you're enjoying the content so far.
We try to upload like once or twice a week, so it's been nice getting new subscribers every week.
Yeah, and we're having a lot of fun. We hope you're still enjoying the content. So today we are reviewing Welcome to Mamas. So this is the last film in Hallmark's Loveuary programming, which is kind of sad.
Italiuary programming.
Italiuary for sure. Every other film has been about Italian people, Italian food, or set in Italy.
Yeah, at least half of it.
It's been great though. We love that. So yeah. Yeah, Welcome to Mamas. Of course, anything Italian we love, but also Lorraine Bracco. I always think it's interesting when they have kind of a big Hollywood star in these Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
Because the only other Hallmark movie I've seen her in is The Snow Globe, which is really bad, but I really love it. And I think you really love that one too, right?
Yeah, I mean, we like bad ones, so.
Love it.
So what's this one about?
Okay, so restaurant manager Amy, played by Melanie Scrofano, inherits a Brooklyn restaurant after Mama, a very close grandmother-like figure in her life, played by Lorraine Bracco, passes away. In her will, Mama insists that the current master chef, Frank, played by Daniel Di Tomasso, must stay on as the master chef. Will Melanie and Frank be able to put their differences about what the restaurant needs in order to stay true to Mama's vision and be successful aside? And will they find love along the way?
Will they ever find their spark?
So when we meet Amy, I think she's a bit stuck in her life. So she's anticipating a promotion, and when she's denied the promotion and it's given to someone else, she's pretty much had it, and she just decides to quit her job with no plans.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of how they actually introduced her. It was kind of like she's already fed up, and it's like, if I don't get what I want, then I'm out this year. And I did like that she was strong and made that decision, but in typical Hallmark fashion, she walks out the door and literally gets handed a restaurant.
She inherits a Brooklyn Italian restaurant. Like, how perfect. Geez. So when we meet Frank, he's this very confident, almost like borderline arrogant chef who prides himself on the quality of his food. He doesn't take criticism well. When we first meet him, he's kind of in the middle of getting a bad review from the New York Times food critic. Yeah.
And I like how they set up his character initially because they showed him being stubborn and arrogant right away, sort of.
Yeah, but not in an annoying kind of way.
No, I actually really
He was
liked
just very passionate about his food, and he didn't believe his tiramisu was dry. I mean, how can tiramisu be dry, really, unless you're not using enough cream or mascarpone or coffee? I don't know. Anyway.
I call BS.
But anyway, Amy and Frank both meet under very sad circumstances, and although they are both promised the restaurant in some way, they are very different in their approaches to maintaining.
Well, it's also kind of Mama's character sort of leaves this challenge because she leaves the cookbook also to Amy.
Yes.
But keeps Frank as head chef, which immediately goes against him sort of making his new menu, which he's been kind of trying to do since he took over.
They both adored Mama, and they want to do what's right by her. They just have a very different way of achieving it.
Yeah, it was a good way to set up the drama between them and how, And
the conflict between them. So Amy's approach is very much tied to the past and keeping in line with tradition. But Frank's all about progression and moving forward. So, they're trying to find a compromise. So what was our overall thoughts of this? I thought it was cute. I enjoyed it for the most part, but nothing really stood out.
No, I remember during the first 20 to 30 minutes, I was like, oh, this is much better than I thought it was going to be, and
I think
it kind of tied me in.
out loud.
But I think, in the end, especially with the additional runtime, this was almost 2 hours long.
It was
long.
Long.
Yes, with commercials, but I was like, wow. I was like, I would say because of that, the pacing wasn't really good. They set it up very well.
I prefer a faster paced Hallmark movie. I think Hallmark does fast pace very well. This almost started off like that, and then
started off fast paced,
and then I was ready for it to wrap up.
Yeah,
I was just ready for it to.
Well,
be
the
done.
thing is, it's like we were traveling back in memory lane, but there was two of them. There was Mama's character meeting her husband and buying the restaurant and starting her journey, and then there was also the memories of Mama recently, and then
with Amy, and then they had a falling out, and her hiring Frank. Yeah, there was two flashback scenes from different times.
Yeah, so they create this love with Mama, and they create a backstory to Mama and her husband, who is also passed on.
Yeah.
And then it seems like there was no room left for Frank and Amy, and their love kind of suffered. Maybe that's why the movie almost ran 2 hours.
Yeah, way too long. way too long.
2 hours, and they still didn't really.
If we want to get like a bit nitpicky on a few things, what stood out to me were the green screens. I mean, Hallmark's kind of notorious for not doing very well with the green
thing
screens.
is, I feel like there was a few good ones in this that kind of made up for it, sort of, but there's always bad ones. But yeah, there's some bad ones.
Really bad.
Nitpicky for me is Lorraine Bracco, who 3 times she mispronounced tesoro. She said tresoro.
Yeah.
Which is literally from
strange,
the Last Veil movie too. Tesoro
Yeah,
mio.
the name of the restaurant in the Wedding Veil.
My treasure.
Yeah.
I feel like
there's a little Easter egg
this
there.
has been happening every time, though. I feel like they're just
There's,
leaving
like, little
one
Easter eggs,
every.
yeah.
It's really interesting. I hope that that's the case, and I'm not just
pairing,
like.
I remember that actual phrase was in Butlers in Love. The perfect pairing when they like toast.
They also did it. One of the Veil stories had, I can carry 4 plates at once, which is from Butlers in Love, and they carried on something every.
That's right. Alison Sweeney's character Tracy said that she could do that.
That's interesting. I mean, I think like there is one every movie.
That's good. So let's talk performances. I thought both leads were enjoyable. They were both very attractive.
I feel like they didn't have the spark. They both did a really good job. I just feel like they never...
I didn't believe them. I didn't see a spark. I didn't see that much chemistry between them.
There was more chemistry between their love for Mama and the whole thing, and I felt like there was a chemistry in the movie, but it was kind of just like this.
But it wasn't
overall...
romantic. It wasn't like a romantic chemistry.
And it's really, I find it ironic that they were on the search for the spark for the original stove from Mama's, and like they go on this little mini date looking for this spark plug. I don't think they ever really found their spark.
That's very good. I like that. I shouldn't say there wasn't romantic chemistry, because I actually felt the romantic chemistry in the flashbacks of young Mama and her husband.
Yeah, whoever they were played by, it was really cute.
Yeah. If I had to pick a standout, I think I would go with Frank, so Daniel. He definitely had that, strong Brooklyn Italian vibe thing going on, but it was like believable. It didn't actually seem very put on. Like it seemed very natural for him to be like that. And he's Canadian, by the way.
Both of them are.
They're both Canadian, so even Melanie is Canadian. She's from Ottawa. But I think I'm a little bit biased when it comes to Daniel, because I remember him from the show called The Witches of East End, which I loved.
It was a girl thing.
Definitely a girl thing. So I already was like,
see,
okay,
and
I'm gonna like
here's
it.
the thing. I would be on the other side if I knew
Melanie
was, but she's from Letterkenny, which is like...
She's from
I
Letterkenny.
was like, why do I know her face? And Letterkenny is one of my favorite shows. So big up Canada on this one.
She's hilarious in Letterkenny. I mean...
We could barely find a clip. But she did a good job. I like her in the Hallmark world. I want to see her with somebody else. I mean, here's a funny clip from Letterkenny in the last season where she's commenting on Tyler Hines' character's penis.
Is it Tyler Hines?
Yeah.
Long dong himself. He's a good hugger.
Okay, we're good.
Oh, wow.
So she's already kind of set that up.
There's a little Hallmark Easter egg in Letterkenny. Oh my God, Hallmark's infiltrating everything. Oh my God.
Through a dick joke.
Of course. The irony.
Welcome to Canada.
We got to talk about Lorraine Bracco here. It's always great to see her because she's familiar, right?
Yeah,
She's familiar.
Hearing her is
that
hard.
Voice,
Hearing
that voice
her
is
is hard for me.
The voice.
Yeah, it's very iconic, but I mean, it's as the years go on, it's getting. I mean,
more hoarse,
I wonder if she amped it up to sound like she was old and dying, because she's still very young. And she sounded like a wind-up helicopter from some scenes. Like, I'm sorry.
It was a little bit hard to even hear her.
Now that I'm thinking of it, if she did amp it up for the grandma feel, the mama feel, then well done.
I just felt like
sounded like you're dying.
I know, right? I just felt like she didn't really get as much screen time as I thought she would. And in fact, the younger version of her, I think, got more screen time, which is fine because I loved her and she was great. And I loved that.
It was kind of cute. Yeah, I liked that. And I liked stylistically how they kind of like washed it out. And it was a little.
It was actually more like blues. They used like blue colors.
There was actually one scene or one shot that I really liked in front of the water where they transition to a memory. They transition from Frank and Amy sitting on the bench, and then they kind of pan over, it's the transition into it is really good.
Yeah, that stood out to me because I remember that exactly.
Yeah.
Performances. There's nothing wrong with the performance. It's just nothing really stood out.
I mean, you know who stood out is Maddie Finocchio.
Maddie Finocchio, but he
pushed this one even more, and he was a big driving force in the Wedding Veil legacy for me. But also he pushed this story even more, and he felt more of the Brooklyn Italian connection, and like
he's so funny.
He had more insight on Frank's character.
Yeah,
it feels
so maybe if we had to choose out of the leads,
he might be my
Frank. But Maddie probably is the overall standout.
Yeah. Well, the acting was definitely fine in this one. It's just there was something left out in the feeling.
Agreed.
In the feels.
Agreed. So the writers here are William Pennick and Tyler Strassel. I wasn't too familiar with Pennick's work, but when I looked him up, he actually wrote It's Christmas Carol, and that's one of the Christmas movies that I actually really, really love.
I've never seen that. I love that name, though.
Yeah, it's like It's Christmas, Carol.
Thanks.
Tyler has a bunch of writing credits, like big hitters, like Parks and Recreation, Master of None, Weeds, Desperate Housewives.
Oh, wow. I mean,
some
okay.
big, popular, successful shows. So, you know, like the writing here was good, but straight ahead.
Okay, Hallmark. Oh, sorry. The writing wasn't bad. I mean, that we do need some other stuff.
Yeah, we need some, because, you know, again, I keep saying this, but nothing really stood out. The director here is Alan Harmon. His resume is very extensive, so he's done a lot of shows. Canadian shows too, like Sliders, Andromeda, some Christmas things. So he did The Christmas Consultant, The Christmas Calendar. His list goes on and on and on. So
Hey, if you do Christmas stuff,
director.
Then you're good with us.
Yeah. So why don't we just get into, did it hit the Hallmark or miss the Hallmark?
Oh, yeah.
This is tough. I hate saying that any of these miss the Hallmark because, like, to a certain degree, I always enjoy them. There's always a level of, like, joy, comfort, coziness, you know, like, and this one did do that for me. But if I was just going on technical merits, then it missed the Hallmark.
I also feel the same way. You know, I got through it and having a feeling of,
Whenever
this
you
is
want
on a good
something to
track,
wrap up.
and it took a long time. Yeah, whenever you want something to end.
It's obviously not going well.
Yeah, so I mean, definitely
But
watchable, and it
more
fits
to
in
the writing. I think it was more the writing. The performances were good.
I welcome Melanie to the Hallmark world, but I hope they pair her up with somebody that really
I just
works.
didn't feel the chemistry between
I feel like
the
her
two.
and Paul Campbell could really work.
I can see that. I can
Might be a
actually see
weird
her and
one.
Tyler, and because there's already a Letterkenny connection, it may be easier for us to believe
That might be harder to get around.
Hallmark has like pull, so
Yeah,
they
and-
can get anyone they want probably.
It's a new day.
Um,
So let's get
Yeah.
to our Hallmark report card.
yeah, let's do this little checklist that we always like to do. Promotion or deadline. So I say yes to this because she was waiting for a promotion right in the beginning and she didn't get it.
Oh, yeah.
And then she also inherits a restaurant as a manager, so that's technically kind of a
I mean,
promotion too, right? I don't know. Is that reaching?
no, that's true. No,
Okay.
that's a ding. Career-driven lead.
Yes.
Yes, I mean, she definitely wants
Actually,
to be a
too.
manager. Like she
He's
even.
career-driven as well.
Well,
as
of
a
course.
chef. Yeah.
This is a double ding.
Double ding
Double
for
ding.
this one. I liked that. Big misunderstanding. I don't think so.
I think if anything,
No.
if anything, Frank hiding the
that was
the
more
bad
like a
review.
secret, I guess.
Okay. I would say no.
He also, there is a moment where he gets kind of poached to work at another restaurant. It actually goes for an interview and all that, and that didn't really
That
go
dick just
very
shows
far.
up at Mama's like, hey,
Yeah,
how about that
that's
interview
weird.
we just had like 3 hours ago?
Like, who shows up at their current employer to be like, so are you going to leave this place and join our place? What can I do to convince you? Meanwhile, the manager's standing right there.
I bet they had another half an hour in this movie. They're like, damn, okay, you got to just show up at the restaurant.
It didn't go very far. It didn't go very far.
Anyway,
A change of heart.
I'm doing this one.
Oh, sorry.
A change of heart. I mean, definitely.
Sure. I mean, they always kind of start off not interested, and then they end up interested romantically in each other.
But also on change of heart, pinball machine. Galaxy Quest.
There you go.
Galaxy
There you go.
Force?
She initially did not want the pinball machine because, again, that goes against tradition. He wants to be progressive and modern and all that, and
I mean,
she compromises and
there's nothing
changes her
progressive and
mind.
modern about a pinball machine.
No, I guess that is that. But in terms of like,
And Italians love pinball.
okay,
What
it's
are you talking
not
about?
Italian. It's more American,
Yeah, it's fair.
I guess. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah.
Someone gets dumped, fired, or dies. No, she quits. She doesn't get fired right in the beginning. So I'm gonna say no to all of
Yeah,
these.
no, these are second romance subplot.
So I'm gonna say yes because Mama's.
Oh
romance.
yeah, because they
Like,
show, yeah, that's kind of a gimme. But yes, they show
But then I
Mama
think, yes,
falling
I
in
think
love
that
with
counts.
Papa. A proposal or wedding?
Yeah, Mama's. She's actually in a wedding dress.
Oh,
We
yeah.
don't see the actual wedding, but it's kind of like we see after
Yeah.
the two of them kind of walking down.
That hits the ding for me.
Yeah. Travel issues. No.
No, I don't think so.
No.
Selling the house, business, farm.
I
no.
mean, the restaurant gets
They
inherited.
inheriting a business house or farm?
Let's say no.
No.
Let's say no,
Yeah.
no. Big city, small town transition.
No,
I
it's
think
not
we're always in
this
New
is
York.
Brooklyn, man.
Yeah.
They go from Brooklyn to Manhattan. That's about it.
Yeah.
They almost kiss.
No, I didn't see this. But no, we're saying no to that, yeah? Mad dash to the airport or let's go get her.
No. Just a meeting on the roof, which is kind of nice.
It was lovely.
I did like how they
cute.
ended it.
It was cute. Like, just this whole thing was just cute. You know, is it worth a watch? It's probably not on the top of any kind of list that I would be like, you need to watch this one.
No,
but if you're stumbling on, you know,
they threw it on the end of the pile with a more famous name on it.
Yeah.
The thing I'm most excited for about this movie was Melanie Scrofano coming into the Hallmark world. I hope she sticks around and does a couple more. Or she's a pretty funny girl.
She's very funny. She's very funny in Letterkenny.
You're in G&T country now, fella.
Very hospitable, very hospitable.
And she's
But she pulled
enjoyable
it off. She pulled it off in this. She seemed like humorous, but not like. Okay.
So anyway, not really worth your time, but if you happen to stumble upon it,
it is a little bit more time.
Yeah.
A little.
There's definitely better out there. But anyway, thank you so much. Again, don't forget to subscribe, like, share. It helps out the channel a lot. If you want to, if you're enjoying it, we're enjoying it still.
Yeah, I mean, don't unsubscribe.
No, don't.
Are you supposed to say that?
No. And we're looking forward to March. We've started to see some of the March previews. They're looking good. There's a few combos there that I'm excited about.
Yeah, well, I'm excited to see the whole roll.
Yeah.
So we'll see you back for once or twice a week.
Yeah.
And thanks for coming.
Bye.